Hi everyone! For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicole B and I'm the children's book author of Layla and Luella. It's available right now online at Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target, and Amazon. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down all the steps I took to self-publish my book so that you can too. Keep in mind that this is an investment, so you will be spending money, but prices vary. Step number 1, write a damn good story and think about how old the kids are that you are speaking to. Remember that you want this to be enjoyable for children and the adults. Get inspiration from other books or think of a valuable lesson that you think we should remember. What was something you wish you knew as a kid? Also, while writing, keep in mind that the standard industry page count for a children's book is around 32 pages long. Mine is 36. That's including the cover page, copyright, dedication page, and front and back flaps. This is because the printing process requires that books be printed in multiples of 8 pages. Step number 2, get your manuscript copyrighted. You can take it right to your local US copyright office, which usually costs around $55. In addition to this, you still need to write your own copyright page, which can simply be done by Googling copyright page. Or take a look at other children's books to see what they wrote. Be sure to include your email, your book edition, leave space for your ISBN numbers, which will be added later. You can just put X's in place of the numbers for now. Leave space for any info you'll be leaving about your Illustrator as well as your future social media pages. This will be a great marketing tool come later. Remember, this is a rough draft. You just want to have as much info as you can typed up so that when you send your manuscript off to your editor after it is copyrighted, they will have all the pages. Which is step number 3, find an editor. I did this by using a freelancing website called FIVERR.com, and I typed in the search bar children's book editor. You can then look at a bunch of qualified people as well as their reviews and prices. Also, during this step, you need to write the back page summary of your book. Remember that the back page is one of the most important pages because that is what people first look at when they want to see what your book is about. If you are having a hard time at nailing this important part, guess what? You can actually hire someone to read your manuscript and write this page for you. Also using FIVERR. Just type in best-selling book description or back cover copy. If you do write it yourself, include this with your manuscript to give to your editor. You want to make sure that there are no mistakes on absolutely anything. Step number 4, and I'm still unsure if this is a necessary step or not, but we're going to talk about it anyways, and that is your book's font. The font in my book is entirely my own handwriting. The way I did this was by using an easy website called calligrapher.com. They have you print out a table of the alphabet and syllables and handwrite them. Then you scan this back into your computer. If you don't have a scanner, you can always use a scanner app which allows you to take a photo of your paper and turns it into a document. Once you upload this, Calligrapher turns your handwriting into a downloadable font for free that you can edit. Now, there are free commercially licensed fonts that you can use, but I had never heard of the ones I saw on Google, and I thought this was much cooler anyways. There was so much confusion online for me about whether or not you can use designer fonts for free commercially. So if you know the true legalities behind this, let me know in the comments down below. Step number 5, find an illustrator. Or if you're an artist, draw your characters yourself. Shout out to my illustrator, henrique.rampazzo from Brazil. He's absolutely incredible. If you ever want to use him for your book, I'll go ahead and link his email and Instagram down below. I found the amazing Henrique off of FIVERR, but mind you, I went through 2 other illustrators before I found him. This is because I didn't take into consideration about time zones or language barriers. Make sure you find an illustrator that speaks your language fluently. Communication needs to be so clear during this step because you need to explain in detail about how you want your characters to look. And if they're only getting pieces of what you are saying, then the character you want to look like an elephant is going to come out looking like a dinosaur. Prices for cover design and full book illustrations tend to range from $100 to over $2,000. This is because the illustrator usually charges per page. Some will charge $10 a page, some will charge $25, others $70 a page. It all depends on how good you want your book to look and how much you are willing to invest. Your illustrator is the one that puts your book all together and makes it come to life. so choose wisely. After this step, your book should be finished and you should only have a digital version of it. Step number 6, submit the digital copy of your book to be reviewed. I'm sure there are several websites that you can do this, but I submitted mine to readersfavorite.com. Their panel of judges offer free book reviews and decide if you get a 5-star rating. If you do, you get this shiny 5-star seal. This seal can be seen on book covers by indie authors like me to iconic publishers like Simon & Schuster all over the world. I made this decision before publishing my book because I knew that it would be great marketing if I had received the seal. And what do you know? Step number 7, self-publishing your book. There are many ways to do this, and all the different options I'm about to tell you collect different percentages of your royalties, so beware. Another thing that you are going to be asked before you start is whether or not you want your book to be a hardcover or a softcover. Hardcover is more expensive, and most people recommend starting with a softcover for your very first book. But me personally, I really wanted my book to last in every household, and I wanted it to withstand spilled juice and sticky baby fingers. So there are many ways, like I said. You can use Amazon's free option through their program called KDP, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. You can also use Barnes & Noble's option called Barnes & Noble Press. They market their self-publishing service as being free, but it actually is not. The only thing that is free with them is if you self-publish as an ebook. If you want people to have a physical copy, then it does cost money for distribution, which prices vary. Then you have Ingram Spark, which I believe starts around $50. There is also authorscrew.com, outskirtpress.com, and many more. Now, I didn't do much research on these when I self-published my book because I had an author friend of mine convince me to go through bookbaby.com, which is probably the most expensive route out of all of them. In total costs, I believe I spent around $1,200 to self-publish through them. There's a lot of advantages in self-publishing your book through BookBaby, but I'm not sure I would go this route again because of the price. Someone from their team also convinced me because they said that around 75 to 80% of all their users would make back their initial investment within the very first year, as long as a giant pandemic doesn't occur in the process. During COVID, I had a lot of ups and downs, and although my book did sell out 4 times, in which I'm very grateful for, however, I never got to do a book tour because Barnes & Noble canceled all events during this pandemic. Now, book tours give you an amazing advantage in getting your book out there. You get to meet tons of people, talk about your book in person, and people get to see your face. So book tours are amazing. I think they're very valuable and something that you should definitely consider doing. So there are obviously some other steps and things you need to know when it comes to officially self-publishing your book, like ISBN numbers, preparing for your book launch, becoming your own marketer by running ads and stocking up on social media content. There's also bestseller lists and preparing for your possible book tour. All of these things are crucial, and because you don't have a traditional publisher taking care of all of these things for you, you are doing the work all by yourself. But self-publishing does come with its many benefits, and that is why people do it. Follow me along if you want me to explain all of these steps in my next video. For now, get started on your book. If you want to purchase a copy of Layla and Luella, I put my links in the description down below. It's a beautiful story about a little girl named Layla who meditates to summon her superhero named Luella, otherwise known as her higher self, and Luella teaches Layla a powerful life lesson that everyone needs to hear. Find out what it is. Good luck on starting your book. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you later.